If a technologically advanced civilization lived on Earth millions of years before humans, would we even know they were here? We like to think of our cities, our steel, and our satellites as permanent. We see our footprint as indelible. But the Earth is old, unfathomably old. Human history is a blink, a heartbeat. The dinosaurs ruled for 150 million years. We have been building cities for barely 6,000. This is the story of the Silurian Hypothesis, the scientific search for a ghost civilization that may have risen, flourished, and vanished, leaving us with nothing but a mystery. Look around you. Look at the skyscrapers of New York, the Great Wall of China, the concrete sprawls of our modern world. If humanity disappeared tomorrow, how long would these things last? In 1,000 years, the skyscrapers would fall. In 10,000 years, the forests would swallow the ruins. In 100,000 years, the shifting of the Earth's crust would grind our concrete back into dust. After 1 million years, just a tiny fraction of Earth's 4.5 billion year history, there would be no buildings left, no statues, no skeletons. The fossil record is incredibly stingy. Only a tiny percentage of all living things ever become fossils. If a species lived for only 100,000 years, 10 times longer than our current civilization, it might leave no fossils at all. We are looking for a needle in a haystack where the needle has already rusted away. In 2018, two scientists, Adam Frank and Gavin Schmidt, published a paper that shook the academic world. They weren't claiming they found an ancient civilization. They were asking if we would even be able to see the evidence if it were right in front of us. They called it the Silurian Hypothesis, named after a fictional race from reptiles from Doctor Who. They argued that if we want to find an ancient industrial predecessor, we shouldn't look for ruins. We should look for technosignatures in the geology, chemical ghosts. When we burn fossil fuels, we change the ratio of carbon isotopes in the atmosphere. When we use fertilizers, we redirect the nitrogen cycle. When we create plastic, we leave behind a synthetic layer that doesn't exist in nature. If a civilization existed 50 million years ago, their ruins wouldn't be stone. They would be a thin, strange layer of chemicals tucked between layers of rock. And here is where it gets unsettling. When scientists look back at the Earth's deep history, they find anomalies. One of the most famous is the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum, or the PETM. Roughly 56 million years ago, something happened. The Earth's temperature spiked suddenly. Massive amounts of carbon were dumped into the atmosphere. The oceans acidified. To a geologist looking at this from millions of years from now, our current global warming would look exactly like the PETM, a sudden, violent spike of carbon. Was the PETM a natural volcanic event? Most likely, but the signature is suspiciously similar to what an industrial civilization would leave behind. It is a shadow of a process we don't fully understand. Then there is the mystery of the out-of-place artifacts. Over the years, miners and explorers have claimed to find strange things embedded in coal or ancient rock. A brass bell found in a lump of coal in West Virginia, a delicate gold chain found inside an 80-million-year-old stone in Illinois, the Antikythera mechanism, a complex computer found in a shipwreck that shouldn't have existed for another 1,000 years. Most of these are dismissed as hoaxes or natural geological formations, and they likely are, but they fuel a haunting thought. If we are the first, why does the Earth feel so lived in? The Silurian Hypothesis forces us to confront our own ego. We assume we are the pinnacle of Earth's history, the first to think, the first to build, the first to reach for the stars. But if a civilization rose during the Cretaceous period, if they built cities of wood and glass instead of plastic and steel, if they used green energy or biological technology that left no trace, they could have lived for 1 million years and disappeared without a whisper. Their history, their art, their wars, and their loves, all recycled by the tectonic plates, turned into magma, erased. This isn't just about the past, it's a warning about our future. The Silurian hypothesis suggests that the more sustainable a civilization is, the less evidence it leaves behind. The more perfect a society becomes, the more it blends back into the nature of the planet. If we become a truly advanced, zero-waste species, we're effectively erasing our own footprints for whoever comes after us. We're writing our history in water. So, we continue to dig. We look at the chemical composition of ancient clay. We look for strange isotopes in the deep sea sediments. We look at the moon, a place where, without wind or rain, a footprint can last 1 billion years. If an ancient Earth civilization ever left the planet, their ruins might still be sitting in the lunar dust, waiting for us to find them. But until then, we're left with the silence of the Earth. The story of the Silurian hypothesis is a reminder of how little we truly know. We walk on a ground that has been recycled 1,000 times over. We breathe air that has been breathed by creatures we can only imagine. We're just the latest tenants in a very old house, a house that has a habit of cleaning up after its guests. Perhaps somewhere deep beneath your feet, miles into the crust, the only remains of a billion-year-old empire are being crushed into diamonds. The Earth is a master of forgetting, and we are just beginning to learn how to remember.